Can you tell me a little bit about them?
Sure. After the fire, the columns and the remnants, the wreckage from the portico roof were still in place. And that's one of the reasons that the city condemned the house, and it was scheduled to be torn down. That was 1989. Suzanne Blackmer contacted me to come and help her save her house. So one of the first things we had to do was to make it safe for us to work on. And what we did, we took the crane and tried to lift the portico roof down, but it fell apart on the, trying to dismantle it. However, the columns, we set the columns down and took them to Grimes Mill and stored them at Grimes Mill while we were working on the foundation and the front wall of the house and re-supporting the roof that had been put on right after the fire to protect the house.
You could say you've been investing in this house for a pretty long time, huh?
For a while. That was 1989. So after we stabilized the house and it was secure, we brought the columns back from Grimes Mill, thank goodness. Grimes Mill burned. And we stored the columns in the front hallway, which is where they were until 2012. They took the columns out of the hall and stored them in the garage. And then when we started on the house, we started work on the house in February, we took the columns to my shop and rebuilt them. And they're back in place. We believe the columns date back to the 1888 renovation by the Mott family. I think you mentioned that already.
Yep. There are 4 chimneys and 8 fireplaces within the Blackmer house. And the chimneys, when we got a hold of it in the beginning of the year, they were all not fit for code or use. So we had to take down each chimney brick by brick, scrape the mortar off, redo the foundation, and then use those same bricks that we took down to rebuild it up. And it was really important that we did this because we wanted functioning fireplaces. It was important that we took the safety precautions because it was thought that a fluke in one of the chimneys was what caused the fire back in the 1980s. So the core of the chimneys are made of Taylor clay brick, and then these outside bricks, most of them are the original ones from the chimney, but Old Carolina brick supplemented some bricks just so we could make sure we had enough. Some of them fell apart, they were really old. So the portico has undergone some serious changes. You'll notice that we have a ceiling painted blue now. The molding and the portico ceiling came from Goodman Lumber Company, and it's painted blue to keep birds from nesting, and legend has it that it keeps the evil spirits away as well. A big thank you to Gary Curley, who helped us do the reproduction of the portico window. He also helped make window reproductions for the ones that were too damaged, and he's responsible for a lot of the brackets that you see on the front of the house. Hi, welcome back to the Fulton Blackmer house. You'll notice that we've undergone some serious changes since the last time you were here. Namely, we've got sheetrock and electricity. So our front door is an original 1820 to the house. It's made of forest pine, and the crew has worked really hard to sand and strip it back to its original form. Welcome to the gentleman's parlor. So if you look up, you'll notice that this is a wood ceiling. It's an original 1820 wood ceiling, and it's the only one that we were able to preserve in the house. Some of the molding that you see around the windows and the doors, that's thanks to Butch Hollandfield and his reproduction of the craft. So you'll notice that there's no doors into the gentleman's parlor or the den. That's because we converted them to case openings. Originally there would have been doors, and we were able to salvage those and use them upstairs in some of the bedrooms. Okay, do you guys remember the pocket doors? Original to the house, around 1880s when these went in. The molding that you see around here is the original molding that's been here the whole time, and so we were able to use this as a stencil pattern for the molding around the rest of the house so that the wood frames and everything else could match accordingly. So this is going to be the functioning dining room, and what's really cool about this room is that this is an original 1820 wall. It was one of the few ones that we were able to preserve. So it's just going to be refinished, and then the paint coat will go directly on top of this. And around the room, these are the original cornices. We only had to replace a few sections around the room, so we have authentic cornice and molding in here. Welcome back to the kitchen. So again, we've got sheetrock, electricity, you can see some of the piping coming in. So the cool thing about our kitchen is that this is a Greek revival door, which you don't see a lot of in this area. And originally, it was in this wall. But because it was an original 1820, we got the parents to take it out, make this a solid wall for more storage and space, and then we reused that door to connect the kitchen to the mudroom. And above the Greek revival door, you can see some stained glass action that John Palmer did for my parents as a little housewarming gift over a decade ago. And so it's kind of fun that it finally has its rightful place in the kitchen of the Dixon household. So, more progress. We've got a bathtub here in the master bath, which is an ensuite to the master bedroom. You gotta watch your head in here. So this is an active construction site, so you never really know what you're gonna run into when you're walking around. Currently, they're working on putting the crown molding around the top, so you can see the beams around the room that are set to go any minute now. So there's not a railing yet, but we are making a reproduction based on a rendering given to us by Blackmer, who grew up here, so pretty optimistic. So this is the back door, and it's one of two doors that are original to the house and in its original location. So this door has always been in this space since it was first put in. So we were able to get the wood from this because Wood Collinsfield graciously donated a column from the Grand Museum that we were able to use to carve out the rest of the stencil patterns. Okay, so these are the ornamental stair decorations, and here we have one of the original ones. You can see the fire damage, and the original ones are still up there, but they weren't so charred that we're able to use them as a stencil, so we can have a pattern to recreate them to the same way they were when they were first put on in the 1880s. So you've got to watch your step coming up these stairs because they're not 100% done yet. We plan to retread them and essentially cake over them, and then they will be in tip-top working order. So we're headed to the second floor, which holds 4 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms. This is the other door that's original to place and location. So not only has it been here, but it's original to the house as well. So we're going to strip it, sand it, replace some of the panels, but it's one of 2 doors that is original to the house and this specific location. So even though these ceilings are 11 feet, you'll notice that the closet ones don't go all the way to the ceiling. That's because we're utilizing the space above the closet and the bathroom to conceal our heating and air. By doing this, by putting it in an insulated area, it can increase the efficiency of the heating and air unit by up to 30%. So in this room, you'll notice the 2/2 windows, which are congruent with the style of the 1820. But as we shift to this back bedroom through the Jack and Jill bath, you'll notice that these windows are 6/6, which is more similar to the 1888 style. One of the previous owners, Sidney Blackmer, originally did have a bathroom up here, and he had this door. So this door is original to the house via 1930. The bathroom he created was atrociously unattractive and did not fit the original floor plan scheme. So we demolished the bathroom, but we kept the door. So you'll notice that these windows here are actually 6/6, which is similar to the style that would have been in the late 1880s, and we know this because the pattern of the wood is a pattern from 1887. And if you peer out the window, you will see the excess number of cars in our front yard, and that's just because we have a whole community of people helping us here making this house happen. Here is my room right now, and I have an original 1820 door, and what's interesting about these 1820 doors is that it is a wood grain door, but they painted over it to look like wood. It was called faux bois, and it was this really strange technique that they used to try and make their wood look higher quality. So this is the upstairs hallway, and our design concept for this is that there's going to be a big comfy couch right here, a TV on this wall, and the reason for that is that this is the central space of the upstairs with our bedrooms surrounding it, and we really want to encourage everyone to hang out leads to the next bedroom on the south side of the house. It's going to be my brother Spencer's room, and this mantle is one that we hunted for, and it's original to the time period, but not. So this is the process of what you have to do to the door. You can see some of that charring in the upper right corner. So you have to sand it down and scrape away the previous layers, which can sometimes be up to 3 or 4 feet. So from the attic, there's a crawl space where you can get into the portico. So we're looking through that front window that Gary Curley recreated for us into the front porch. Back in 1930s, and over the decades, you can see that people have carved things in the tree as it's grown upward. There's carvings up to 20 feet in the air. And a huge shout out to Alfred C. Wilson and Company for all the construction they've done on the house and keeping us on our timeline and our budget, and his vision for this house that he's had for the past 30 years is incredible, and this would not be possible without him and his team. Thank you!